Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Man, miracles can happen. It's a Christmas miracle. On time. We gotta have like every week it changes like a song.
This song is a bop.
Right? Wow. Ooh, the suds just fade out.
What track is this, Josh? Man, it's getting a hold of me.
Yeah. Hey, we should talk about a show that we're doing.
Oh, here. Okay, let me explain what happened. No, I had clicked the link. I had clicked the link. No, on our own channel. I was on there.
It's like, shit, I want to buy some Humble Bundles. What?
Well, yeah, exactly. I need to log in. I need to get some product. No. So
wait, what happened?
No, so I was in there and I had clicked on a link that I guess I thought it was like Acquisitions Intoxicated live for 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I clicked
man, I gotta go see that fucking show.
No, and I've just been waiting. It was just the wait music. And that's what I was talking to Josh about. I was like, Josh, what is this bop? And then we must have been live at this point. Marvelous. Marvelous. Welcome to 2020, everybody.
Yep.
Hello. My name is Jerford K. Horcrims, your internet friend. And however it came to be, you have fallen ass backwards into Acquisitions Intoxicated, Swish's Brewing Show. Its purpose, long enunciated by our clan, is to give you that which you already own, the art and science of brewing. Now, I am joined, as almost always, by Acquisitions Intoxicated Brewmaster, Eric J. Benson. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't know about this guy. Are we really turning to an unknown at this late hour?
Yeah,
when skill is needed most.
Yeah.
No, it's entirely possible that you just know him by one of his other many names.
Oh.
For example, Edge Benson, Azerbaijan, or the notorious EJB.
That's not true.
Now,
what God?
Of course, we maintain on this program. We adhere to the hero's journey.
Yes.
And in that respect, we have maintained, I think, quite well. But there obviously is a natural dramatic arc to the program. Typically at the beginning. Now, my guess is that we don't have any vessels, right? Do we have anything to brew into?
No, we totally do.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you extracted the Red Rock Blaster.
Josh was awesome, and he made a call and sent in some, got some other glass fermenters that we can use.
Kick ass. Okay, so we will begin with the traditional ritual of putting in the essential oil into the device.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's going to be nice. And then, of course, we will try something new. I will try the most recent iteration of Fremont's Lush IPA. But my understanding, Mr. Benson, is that you have on tap the Red Rock Blaster.
I do.
Which is essentially when, that's when we started the show back up for quarantine, right? That was like our first brew, one. And it's ready to go. And I'm super, super excited about that. And then, of course, we will construct a brand new beer that will be brewed on a future show. So, worse things have happened, certainly. Yeah. We'll be able to maintain. And then after this, I have to clean my whole house. So it's not going to be good. The dirt, in some cases mold, is caked on. There's going to be a lot of scraping. It's going to be like dental work for a house. So it's going to be a rough ride.
I think you might be playing that a little bit.
It's not good.
It's a little rough.
It's not good. Now, Sir Hoggle, of course. Thank you so much for this up. Now, Mr. Benson, do you want to iterate the initial portion of the ritual?
I gotta do something.
Well, here, no, but real quick, let's go into what you're going to be popping in there, because I think essential oil is a real winner.
Yeah.
This is a very, very original build for this show.
I cannot tell you how delicious the malts smelled when I was pouring them into the step filter.
Well, what a kick-ass mix. And then you have a bunch of sugar just straight in the box.
Yeah. I mean, it's all Maris Otter with a little bit of pale malt, some Victory
touch
malt.
of Vic.
Yep. And the crystal malt more for just coloring, a little bit of head retention, not much. But the reason we were doing this was it's a stout, but it's a kind of a blonde stout because it's the engine oil or the motor oil for Modrons.
Right.
Right.
Right. But it has some darker, rich flavors, and flaked barley, I think, is actually brand new for the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be substantial, but the flaked barley is also going to offer us some body and head retention.
Right. Exactly.
No, this is going to be okay, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be all right. Yeah. Cool color. Also pretty original for this show. We got that dialed into a very specific place. Typically we throw the lever to something a little bit more extreme on the SRM. But yes, John Blee, that's true. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that encouragement on this dark day. But as we see right here, the Pico Brew, ready to go. The device, encrusted. Is there an occasional fingerprint upon its steel face? Absolutely. It's bound to happen. I mean, look at what you're made to do to introduce this device, right? One quick, thank you, Zach. One quick motion, and the job is done. The job is complete. Very nice. So we'll roll over there into that essential oil, but we got a really nice piece of fiction to go along with that. Obviously, we stand Modrons in this house, and so it's nice to think that we can extract a goo from these creatures. But I was surprised to learn that there actually is sort of a canonical slime that they do eat from time to time. I thought I was sort of like a Modron, like #1 fan, but there's more complexity than I knew. Yeah, even the Cookie Mom, even the Pico C is pretty substantial. Like the whole range of devices is pretty substantial, but you can have a lot of fun with a C for sure. They have some very cute, smaller scale brew equipment. And my guess is that in some of those cases, at least, a lot of that equipment will be available for change. No, it's not a dead fish in there, John Blee. God. Rory, so nice to see you.
That was a really bad. That was not a success.
Well, I think that obviously here at this, at the end of the year, as the light has begun to dim, on 2020, energy reserves are low. No one, our expectation is that people are going to do the best they can.
I know, but you know what's great?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, dude, so look at that. Can you swap back to this recipe? What the hell is going on with this head retention? Jesus Christ.
I poured it really quick.
Oh, okay. I was like, man.
Yeah. So this was all pale ale, some special roast, Victory malt. And remember, there's some Teton here for the hops. But what we did was we poured in some dark cherries.
That's right. Basically, as what they call a dry addition. So after the boil in the fermenter, right?
This
man.
I wish I could have dropped the bottle growler off. But
no, I mean we're like in double mega lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't. So
right now. So listen,
next time.
So I was just gonna say, you need to drink for all of us. That's the key.
So don't let the color fool you. This is so light and refreshing.
Oh, I was just going to say, because it actually is a really rich, if you check out the either of our Twitter feeds, you'll find a much closer up picture. And even in the foam, I think just because of the cherry edition, that late cherry edition, it's even the foam is a little bit pink and the color is quite rich, but as a beverage, it's pretty easy. It tastes all right.
It's lighter in body. I mean, it's probably medium body because of the extra cherry, but it is easy drinking. This is it
creamy
with a 6.9.
Oh, that's right. God, it's actually tough as hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had forgotten that it was a fucking beast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fantastic.
One day.
Here's the thing. Some people are like, oh, I don't like fruity beers. Well, you're missing out on a whole style of drink.
Well, yeah, it's possible. Listen, I would never say that it's impossible to do it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is a lot of, so we sometimes talk about stunt beers in terms of their IBUs.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people pulling horse shit. Like there is some really nasty pumpkin ales, for example.
Oh, absolutely.
That are mostly just like nutmeg, ocular injections.
Right.
We don't want that. We don't want to support that. But the idea that it's not, think about like saisons and stuff like this. Like the idea that there isn't a place for those additions in the genre.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's incorrect also, just on the opposite side. Well, I have to be honest, I covet it.
I really wish I could have, if we weren't in such a weird pandemic.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll brew it again.
Yeah, exactly. But you definitely see, you see the fruit that people seem to be sort of okay with, at least in the market, is like raspberry in light beers. Yep. I think because it basically just has that sharp bite.
Yep.
But this is dark. This is dark and sweet, along with the Tet, which is a workman hop.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You're getting earthy notes. It's spicy. It's really good. There's in brewing, like Magic Hat number 9 is an easy beer to go to when you can think of, because it's apricot, right?
Right.
It's an easy taste to figure out. One company locally does a watermelon pale ale, and it's fantastic.
Really?
So just I would really recommend giving them a try.
No, and then out on the weirder edge, you see a lot of what are those? What's that salty beer? That's sort of like Northern Europe. Goza.
Oh, Goza, yeah.
Yeah, there's Gozas with cucumber. That's that's not an uncommon
that's
in there. And
that's not like an outlier. Yeah.
No, cucumber in general is a force multiplier for drinks. It is just something about it. Like when it hits the palate, it's fresh. Like no matter what else is going on,
right?
It's like mint.
That's like putting like trying a cucumber gin and tonic. That'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it changes the game, as they say. I think that the first Fremont, like the first time they really started experimenting with like more of like a boutique IPA and not sort of their ships of the line, was Lush. And I feel like it's changed over time. But I feel like where it's at now is sort of like where it was at when it was originally there. I feel like they tried to shift it, and this happens in brews, I think, to cut costs, or because we're making things out of natural products. Right. It can be difficult. Like we have tried to construct all kinds of beers. Some hops are more difficult to get.
Absolutely.
Right.
If I could get lemon drop, we'd be doing a lemon drop beer today. But
exactly. It's sort of like. It's part of it. It's like coffee, let's say. I mean, these are crops.
Yeah.
Right. And they're affected by specific things. And then especially right now, it's hard to move things from place to place too.
Right.
But you can get a hold of some of that stuff. But the main thing about it is that I think the reason they call it Lush is I think it has to do with the hop profile. Basically just like when you drink it, the rest of the body, this is not malty at all.
Yeah.
Like that's not really part of the flavor profile. That's just like somebody that the hops like met in high school. Right. But the flavor profile, like when it hits, it like falls over. It feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like it's those heavy, earthy, piney type things that just sort of lay over the tongue, but not but like a weighted blanket. Like it's not bad. Like it's hop therapy.
Well, I think what's interesting is, Fremont has gotten significantly bigger. Like it has grown exponentially.
The 2 facilities now. Yeah.
Right. And they really haven't steered off the course, I don't think. Like all of their beers are still great. They're still on point. The flagships still taste like they're flagships.
Yeah, exactly. And the flagships, I think, are basically designed. There's like a stratagem there. The flagships are designed to be in every restaurant.
Right.
There's nothing about them that gets in your face.
No. You know what
you're getting. You know exactly what you're getting every time.
It can be paired with anything, right? Like, oh, we're having a burger here. This Lush this, the flagship IPA goes with this. Done.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here having ribs. Same thing. Boom.
Yeah. All their basic stuff is just designed to be amenable.
Yeah.
And then
there's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
And then they experiment, right? Yeah. But it's like they only bet with the winnings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't come out and try to get in your fucking face.
No.
Like they bet with the winnings. So they establish the baseline.
Right.
And then they do crazy shit like their head full of dynamite, head full of fresh hops, like all that whole tall can series that they do is really, really nice, but it's moving out into kink in terms of the hop.
But what's fun is I actually appreciate flagship beers for dining out. Like when I go somewhere, it's like I know, like I don't need triple hop blaster 32x,
.com.
.com. Right. I would rather Mac and Jack's fine.
No, see, and that's the thing, Mac and Jack's, and this is funny too. It's like until I was over, there's actually a tap room. There's a Mac and Jack's tap room in Spokane.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Man, once we make that trip out, there's a lot of places we got to hit.
No, but and then like the rest of their line, that's what I was shocked by, is that there was a bunch of really neat stuff built around like their ships of the line that are just their calibration, right?
That's really fun. Yeah.
They just exactly what each one of these is, and it's good as a test.
Right.
But yeah, obviously the fantasy is the war game weekend, and so hopefully at some point the world will agree with us that such things
will be better,
are vital to human flourishing. But anyhow, it's all good. Yeah. We got this. So yes, Lush is good. Sounds like Red Rock Blaster. Here, just do it. Just do it for all of us one more time, just so that we can see it. Just fruit.
It is just fantastic because it is so light, and the flavors are wonderful. The malt is there. It's not over hopped, and
and it's
cherry. The cherry just plays right on top of it, or kind of right.
Well, yeah, because Tet is going to offer earthy spice.
Yeah,
that's kind of a neat base for the sort of like flat, sharp fruit, right?
Yeah, this is something. If you don't like beer, this is easy to get into because it's not hoppy. It doesn't just taste like a pale ale.
Yeah,
it's a cherried. It tastes like a little bit like a thick cherry drink.
Yeah, I'm into it. So, I'm way down with this. So you're talking about how some people just find fruit additions and things like that outre.
No, some people are just like cocky, like
and
they've got the attitude on the chip on their shoulder. I'll never have fruit in my beer.
Yeah, but see, we recommend, generally speaking, for people who are starting out, we recommend German beers for a lot of reasons, and certainly we've gone into them for the years we've been in the show. But the people that I know that are the least okay with additions of that kind are German.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like it isn't even like at the level of a hipster thing. There's just something about it that they find, and I think because the tradition is so old, and it's pretty established what goes in and what does not go in. And that's a really ancient tradition, actually.
Right. But it's changing. The craft beer scene in Germany is exploding.
Yeah.
I was talking to our friend Christian, and he's like, through the Black Forest, there are breweries popping up doing wildly different things that are outside the norm. And people are starting to come around. I mean, it's an evolution, right? Like,
yeah. Exactly. Blind Cleric. Yeah. Blessed C.W. Franz. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Christian Franz. Anyway, yeah. So Christian Franz is the fantasy. Understand that our plan a long time ago,
before the end times.
Before Corona World. Well, even during Corona World, we had a fantasy that February would be an acceptable time to do something cool and fun. Boy,
apparently
were we
not.
wrong.
Yeah. On that.
But no, it's like the idea was to, bring them over here and go wild. If we can't have a PAX proper, certainly we can lean into this. I was just going to say, Tobias says, representing the German contingent, it's not against the law. No, not anymore. Not anymore. The purity law isn't really a thing anymore, but there is a traditional aspect to it, even if it's not legally observed, right? So I think they were basically ready to move forward, right?
I just want to keep drinking this beer.
Well, no, and you should continue in that vein. You should support all of us. When I was in Germany proper, in the same way that, like, we've talked about it a little bit, but it's like in the same way where, McDonald's has like one type of soda and then Burger King has another type of soda and you don't have the other kinds of sodas. Restaurants in Germany tend to pledge fealty to a specific brewery.
Right.
And that sign can be as large or larger than the sign for the restaurant. Huh. I saw it all the time when I was there. I saw it all the time when I was there. And you go to a cart, like a food cart, and that food cart has taps on it. It has taps on the side, and they will give it to you at 1:00 in the morning.
What a delight.
Yeah, they don't care. You'll come up out of the subway and there's a motherfucker there with taps, and you took the subway because there's no way you could have gotten home otherwise. Like, you don't need these taps, but you do need the doner kebab.
Yeah.
You need the doner kebab. Like,
wait, the what?
In my life, like, this happened in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I think about this doner kebab.
I want a full explanation of whatever the hell this thing is, because the name is just out of control.
I don't know why they call it a doner kebab.
How do you spell it? Like Dunner? D-U-N-N-E-R?
Yeah, D-O-N-E-R-K-E-B-A-B.
D-O-N-E-R. Oh my God. Yeah, look at this.
It's sort of like a gyro.
Fucking gyro.
Yeah, it's sort of like a gyro, basically. Yeah, Tobias, exactly. And that comes across at the cart. Believe it. But I'm telling you that if you come home and you are drunk, yes.
Wow.
Yes. They're slicing that doner meat right off of that, that lamb spire.
Yeah.
And then they're putting it in a hot flatbread and yogurt or some shit. And you're drunk. It's 2 a.m.
You want to.
And this motherfucker hands it over. And it's ridiculous. Like, it was an apex experience for this body. And I remember it. I think about it all the fucking time.
There is something similar in New York that doesn't look as delicious, but have you ever had the Jamaican beef patties?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Oh God.
Would that be a common thing to pull off a cart?
Yep. Patty, and then they would wrap it in this cocoa bread.
Bread? What's cocoa bread?
This
is what you're talking about?
Yes, this
Hold on. Is that like a pierogi in a bun?
It's basically, but it's a crispy shell that's surrounding the meat. And then you wrap it in a bun. You put hot sauce on it.
What do you put a bun on the pie?
Yeah, it's amazing. So this over here is what they look like without the bun around it. And it's a crispy shell with meat inside.
But you'd see something like that. Like that would be really common in Australia. Like whatever that looks like, that's a super normal thing to have there.
Yeah.
It's like a hand pie.
Yeah. But then you would put hot sauce on it. And man, that was our 2 a.m. food.
But yeah, the bun is nuts, right, Josh? That makes no sense at all. Why is there a bun on it?
Because it's amazing.
But what's the beef?
It's a Jamaican pork, or it's a Jamaican jerk.
So it's spicy.
Yeah, it's real
good.
It's real good.
What? Here, listen. They have fucked up already. They need to dip this whole thing in batter and fry that.
Oh,
now we're done.
Now that's over.
The issue with the bun is that it hasn't gone far enough.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there are people who are against hot sauce and there's people who are for hot sauce.
Oh, so it's like a whiz it's like a whiz wit type thing?
Yeah, exactly. And man, I gotta say I'm a hot sauce guy when it comes to this.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And also you need whiz. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
like whatever
thing,
you have to have the thing. You're just being a churl if you deny the hot sauce or the whiz.
Yeah.
You're just being a D. You need to stop. Yeah, exactly. JR Tiptoe, the bun does not go far enough. Quote of the day. Obviously glad to be of service. So
I'm sad you haven't had one of these.
Well, I'm sad that you haven't had the doner kebab. Well, I mean, it is like I was going to say. I mean, if we go, our fantasy, of course, is to go someday to see our friend Christian.
Yeah.
In the Schwarzwald.
Yeah.
And go to the very, very small hotel that he operates there, and have the Schwarzwald Schinken. Right. Yeah. I mean, we want to do the whole thing.
I can't wait.
But I'm saying that such products will be available. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, so
right,
let's get to fucking work.
Yeah.
I got to figure out which of the 3 volumes on this disc has my Red Rock Blaster. There it is. Perfect.
Okay, so what do we want to make today?
What do we want to make?
Where do we want to go with this?
Here, hey, can you take one more drink of the?
Yeah, totally. You're not gonna. I'm never gonna say no to that. I might actually go get a refill soon.
Well, I was just gonna say, God, that's higher than what I've got. You said it's almost 7%, except it's fruity and sweet.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
This is bad news.
Like it's not a medicinal. You know how some fruit can kind of become medicinal,
especially cherry,
higher ABV.
But when you have the cherry taste, it has to do with growing up,
right,
with the sorts of medicines we get.
Exactly.
If it has cherry and alcohol, it can lean into that.
Yes, and this has none of that. This has none of that.
That's it.
So, a bummer that I have to drink this entire keg this week just so we can fill the next one up with Icewind Ale.
Yeah, exactly. But luckily, right, is that, for good or ill, the very first brew when we came back foamed like crazy. And so you lost some volume.
That was this one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
it
might be for the best.
Yeah. But
for the best.
But Icewind Ale, let me remind everybody, that was a stout or a winter seasonal ale that we did that has
super cool
maple syrup built
lore
into it.
Yeah.
Super cool lore. But then vanilla bean and cinnamon put in secondary. And let me tell you, one, I didn't realize how expensive vanilla bean is.
Oh, no, they'll charge you for it. Yeah.
Yeah. $17 for one
bean.
Strip. Yeah. But anyways, smells fantastic.
Oh yeah. So that's right. It's already begun its dark work.
It's going to be on tap next week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. When's the family gone?
The family gone?
Yeah. When can I start hauling you over shipments?
They leave fast. They'll be gone this week. So we'll both be able to have it next week. If that's how we want to get in there, for sure. Yeah. Yes, vanilla is in fact a premium bean for sure. Now you can see the volume being pulled out of the Pico Brew Z right now, but you could tell that color was already dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
It is already hit because there's some darker grains in there.
Yeah.
It's basically already hit the color that we want. You can just see it right above the grain bed. But this is a much higher grain bed than we had last time. Yeah, it's only that sugar in the boil that's making this thing. Like, this is a much bigger beer than it looks like even.
Oh, yeah. We shot this through the roof.
It's 2 pounds of sugar. Dude, that thing is going to bubble like nuts. You won't be able to sleep.
No. It's ridiculous. It is a creation among creations, and I am excited for it.
Absolutely. Tobias, what does your tax guy say about you regularly putting beer ingredients on the company account, by the way? Are those on the company account, or are you talk to Micro?
No, Micro Homebrew up in the top corner. They sponsor us, and they are
they awesome. Really do? Oh, okay. Because, I mean, we've even had them on. We had them on the show to show extract brewing.
Yep. They give us all our grains and hops and yeast for free. Yeah. They're that cool. And they've actually put together programs for Acking viewers to come into the shop. That's true. We've done that a couple times where you could come and brew with them. If you're local, I always say support Micro Homebrew.
You have to.
If you're not local, go support your local homebrew shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, Dark Magic, you have to understand, dude. I know Tony, and he's cool. Mm-hmm. And, we had him on the show, but I have felt bad about this for years. I have felt terrible about this. I thought you were going out of pocket, and I was like, we need to get him a card. We need to resolve this in some other way.
No, my out of pocket expenses are
Let's travel.
Well, yeah, that and anything that's equipment based, like Star Sand, all that stuff.
Oh, goop.
Yeah,
you pay for goop. Yeah. Now, so we need a theme, right, for this year's the medicine that we'll be drinking in the new year. Mm-hmm. We need to have a concept for it. Theme.
Yeah, what do we want to do?
Exactly.
A New Year's ale? Do we want some kind of celebration, like a Waterdeep celebration? Do we want to do like a Red Larch celebration? Do we want to create some kind of
Do we want to hit sort of akin to Icewind Ale?
Kind of like what do we think that Red Larch does in the wintertime? We already created the cornerstones, but they've got to something has to happen during the colder months, right?
Yeah, exactly. The idea, we can come up with lots of good vibes, right? So one of the themes will be Red Larch, which is to say, in this particular case, a cultural festival beer, because they have lots of, one of the things that we really emphasized, when we were creating the C-Team world. Obviously, it's in Red Larch. Red Larch is defined in the official materials, but our version of Red Larch is unrecognizable.
We looked at it under a microscope lens where the material
individual buildings, individual personalities, and then of course over the period of 3 years, people moving in, like things that have happened in the world have made it so that there's people moving to Red Larch. And Red Larch isn't the very small town that it was when we started.
No, and I that was always a fun. I love that concept.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that we really emphasized how important seasons are to a town that small, and we've also emphasized its history as a mining town, where that's not really part of the economy anymore.
Yeah, Chainsaw. We did actually do Red Larch gentrification as a subject matter. In C-Team.
It's key.
We had somebody that tried.
Whoa, Trent Taylor, thank you so much. That's really kind. Now Major Death says Red Larch a red beer. Red Larch regular was already a red. as I recall.
Oh God, it was fantastic.
So we iced. We that was our first at bat. But so yeah, something cultural for Red Larch. So we'd be coming up with, that very end of the year, the darkest part of the year, solstice type action, right? So what else are we looking for? Yeah, exactly. Tobias, I mean, Red Larch is going to have that concept, and it's going to work. It's going to work both ways, right? It's going to work inside the metaphor of the town, but obviously it can be broadly writ as well, just for us as humans.
Right. Does anything stand out from the December Inc. game?
Well, actually, Icewind Ale would be the perfect match for that already. Yeah. We dialed that one in real good.
And I don't want to do anything with Bobby until we can get Xavier on the show. So
Mr. Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Something involving fire or indoor activities. Yeah, I can see that.
For what? Fight. Oh yeah.
As a vibe.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could make like a Vistani ale.
Yeah.
So the Vistani are the traveling bands in Ravenloft.
Yeah, Ravenloft and everywhere, really.
Yeah, and whenever you typically meet them in game, you're around a fireplace. You're around a fire pit. Everybody's dancing and having a good time.
Yeah, gosh. Josh is coming in with something like an elixir to fight frost.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, Terraria has
EMW, if we were going to do something for Paulton, I'd call Nate and have him on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll bring him on.
And he might.
Oh, he would. Totally.
I'm looking for another classic potion.
Well, there's what if it's... So there's like the Ring of Frost, right? Which would be cool. Like, what if it's a magic item? Like, what if it's based off of a magic item? Like when we did like the Robe of Stars for Cathris, right? Or we did something like for Rosie, we did her staff when we were making her staff up.
Yeah, some kind of nog. I mean, we could. We could. I mean, the best version of the nog that we could do would involve making a hard liquor from wort.
Oh, EMW, I've already talked
to him. That would be
Mark,
easy.
And he's 100% on board to come on the show.
He'd come on in a heartbeat.
No, I already told him. I'm like, when we get a DM's beer going, a deck of many things. That's a kind of a fun, would be a fun beer.
Yeah. Let me throw that in there.
Yeah.
No, it's a great vibe. Let me grab one more here. A stout nog. Yeah, honestly, that would be great. I mean, I wonder if it would, because it's mostly water and the ABV is a little bit lower, it wouldn't break up too much.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Dark Magic. Yeah, we love Austin. / Xavier.
Yeah, I just don't want to do anything until we can get him on the show because it doesn't, it'd be better just to have him with us.
Yeah, Mechanthrope likes the idea of a potion that's sort of like the vaccines.
I think that's really neat. Like
right.
An anti-poison, like a cure wounds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, last time we came up with something really, really good. If you want to show, it might be that somebody didn't have a chance to see it. You should show them Walk It Off, which is our take on a potion of extra healing.
Yeah, Jesus.
This is a fucking beast.
I can't
This is a triple IPA coming at you. It's just going to kick you in the head. Tobias, we had, cure disease. That's all we're looking for, right?
Yeah, cure disease, yeah.
Yep,
or healing word, right?
Yeah. Potion of cure disease is going to be put on there. Let's get that vote popping. So Tobias, basically, we knew one of the people at WWE who was sort of like a manager. Their purpose was to expand the online footprint of WWE superstars. And so it was a very natural fit for us.
Oh, you got that pole. Oh, look at that. Red Larch. Coming in. No, I'm digging that.
Yeah, Demetrios, that's the other thing, is that they had already done, they had some D&D chops over there already. All right, well, look, they told us what they wanted, and we're going to give it to them. So the basic idea is that we need to hook up sort of the finale of the year. We know how things go in the summer. We've had a couple other hooks for Red Larch. Now we need to construct the cultural apparatus around the end of the year.
All right. So what does that mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
So what kind of styles would be around end of the year styles? Would it be celebratory?
Yeah, exactly. So are we, is it a celebration thing, or is it something that you look forward to? Because we know, right? We know that, the types of beers that happen, they're not, divorced from the time of year that they exist in, right? So at the end of the year, are you brewing another period? Like, are you actually making a beer that would typically be from another period to remind you of that?
Right.
Or are you leaning in specifically to the season, like even harder at the end of the year?
Right. And like let's say we're at a Yule time gathering, right? And everybody's in a longhouse. Are you drinking something that's lighter so you can drink a lot of it, and the merriment can go on all night?
Yeah.
Because the reason these celebrations became into being was to get people together into a warm place for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So is it something lighter that just keeps you going throughout the night and into the next night and the next night?
Yeah, God, what would be really funny?
Yeah.
Let's lean way into this. So as a cultural practice, so my friend David Lishner, who is now a professor at Yale or something, his focus is altruism. Okay. He's like a professor of psychology or some shit, and he would always he came over from Indiana. He was like the new kid, and so we became friends instantly, basically. And I learned about this ritual that he has. So in his friend group, one of them was always the first to wear shorts. Like, so it's like, but you have to wear them a little early. If you want to be first, you have to be wearing them when it's still super cold.
Right.
So what if this party is it's a summary, like it's a different kind of beer, but you come dressed, it's like dead of winter, but everybody is pretending inside.
You come dressed as Jeff?
It's like a summer party. Yeah, exactly right. You come in dialed in for summer. Like, you basically just in the dead of winter, you pretend that it's summer. It's like Christmas in July, but in reverse.
I love that idea.
Exactly, Adria.
Belgian blonde ale.
Yep. So like fruity, nice. I mean, that is the anti-winter beer.
Right. What about a British Golden?
Yeah.
How cool would that be? Like, that's and then I mean, we could do a fest beer.
Well,
but
I mean, that works.
That's kind of.
It's already wintry.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a light beer, but.
Belgian free, because this is the thing, is like we can obviously do a pale, but I think it has to be something that has something to say. Like it has to be like too summary to overcome it. Right.
So we could do a pale, but then you put pale, but then with broad. additions, right?
Yeah.
Like there has to be some hilarious additions in there.
All right, let's take a look at that. Sauce, exactly right. Everybody, like you, when you come to this party, you throw that cloak off, and you're dressed to work in a field.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Fox, we've actually done shandy style beers on the show already, like for that exact purpose.
Yeah. Radler. Absolutely. I don't know if everybody sees this, but looking at this, 139 recipes.
Woof. And they're all good. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. What a treasury. There's 52 weeks in a year. I mean, that should tell you the type of.
We could essentially do a 3-volume set of a book at this point.
Yeah, yeah. The book, Orion Rogue definitely. I mean, we need to have something to do because obviously,
hardcover, you want to know what's interesting about that?
PAX shows. I'm just saying that PAX shows are on pause. Like, is this the window?
Yeah. What's really interesting that Orion says the hardcover. Not many brewing books are hardcover.
Yeah.
That would make it stand out.
It really would. I mean, these books, and they have like a laminated cover. Like these books are designed to become filthy.
Mm-hmm.
Jux, so we have discussed. Lane, thank you very much. It is in fact a Pico Z. Now, Jux, we have discussed this at length.
Mm-hmm.
And so, our fantasy for the book is that it incorporates the lore. It incorporates recipes for 5-gallon and extract systems. And, on the back of it, it also incorporates in-game effects. So there's a game design aspect. So what is it like if consumed as a potion?
Right, exactly. How will it affect your character?
Right.
So you could use it in-game. Literally use it in-game.
Yeah. I don't know. There's never been a supplement quite like that, I don't think. And I mean, that almost certainly means it's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's totally a bad idea. But why not?
I've more or less built a career on that, so worse things have happened, to be sure.
Yeah. Oh no, Jux, the brews would have stat blocks essentially.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right, let's get it.
So what do we got for the? Oh God, there's a fight. Look at this.
There is. I gotta wait until one of these wins, and then we'll take it to the hoop.
Take it to the limit.
British Golden.
What? Was it really?
British Golden. Yeah. Data Tech. It almost certainly, like in terms of the text, it almost certainly has to be, in the vein of a Volo's guide.
Yeah.
I think that the cultural information has to be rendered as though it's in person. I think it has to be sort of warm and lyrical and have a perspective.
Okay. So let's. Let's talk about where we want to bring this beer. So typically the ABV is 3.8 to 5%. So 3 or 4% would be hey, we're partying all night. We're partying tomorrow. We're probably partying the next day.
Well, and summer beers tend not to be that heavy, right?
Right. 5, or if we did a 5 and a 6.
Yeah.
6 would be I'm here to party. Like it's 1990 or 1791.
Yeah.
DR.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that sort of the distinction between these is like, okay, the 6% to my mind implies that they're still conscious fully that they need a winter beer.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to skimp on that part of it, but they want every other part of the experience.
Right.
They want every other part of the experience to be in line with the festival.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll see where they go. I mean, basically, everyone's just agreeing to believe it's summer. Yeah, I'm going to tell Tristan about this. She's going to love it. It's going to be good times.
Yeah, we got to get her back on and do another beer for her. All right. Wait, are we doing... Oh, look at the color.
Right now, it's clear. All right, I am waiting with my finger on the button. %.
Okay. So when I remarked about the color, typically it's between 2 and 6.
Oh yeah, this may not do that.
2 is probably going to be... God, if we went with the low end, 2 or 3, I'd say 3 would be the low end.
Yeah,
and that is basically on a beach, right?
Yeah, it being light, I think, is part of the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it's what you wouldn't see, and I don't think it's like Christmas exactly. I think this sort of happens after Christmas, like in the dead of winter, right?
Right.
Or it's actually like the chat was saying, sort of like in that solstice, like essentially like right now.
Right.
Right. It's like right at the valley.
Yeah. So does that bring us up to like an 8 or a 10? You know, as we're like this golden.
Where can you show the SRM?
Oh, did I not switch it? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
SRM on my screen and
no, it's fine.
Got multiple screens going, people.
Anyway. Yeah. So 3 very light, but we wouldn't want to go much past 9. I don't think.
I don't think so.
And we go 3, 6, 9, and then we have plenty of options here. Right, because it's like the healing potion thing. Like I'm way more into this theme than I expected. It's actually totally legit.
So what does a 9 represent? Like thematically, like not 9 is...
Well, 9, but 9 is still super summery. I mean, that basically just puts it right in the teeth of most spring and summer style beers.
Yeah, it's a flavored summer beer almost.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Like 9 reminds me of a Blue Moon where you put an orange peel on the side of it.
Yeah, and it'd be normal, right? Yeah. And so in this case, I mean, if they had something like a pickled fruit or a
ooh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Something like a stored or preserved fruit, that would be like the normal part of it, right?
Mm-hmm. I like the thought of apricots.
Well, apricots would work. Apricot really sits in that. And I mean, again, like apricot as a fruit texture wise is not for me, but the flavor is not the problem.
Oh, you don't. Oh, is that really what bugs you about that fruit?
Yeah, it's the combination of how dense the flesh tends to be, plus the hair, and so. But the flavor of an apricot I love, but the actual plant I can't abide.
What about figs and dates?
Figs and dates are legit.
Yeah. Have you ever had bacon wrapped stuffed dates?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Good Lord. I don't know. I think 6 is kind of running away with this.
6 has it on lock. Yeah, but 6 is great. What a great color.
Yeah.
Like what's funny, I mean, as is so often the case with the channel, 6 I think is actually correct. It's theme correct.
Like all it makes me feel is someone walks into the long hall, this old wooden long hall, like you said, takes off the winter coat, but has a straw hat on. You know, like that's what I get out of that 6.
Oh no, it's so ridiculous because nobody wants to be cold on the way over.
Right. So IBUs can go in any direction with this beer.
Yep. We can go as we like.
Do we want it to be really light as like in 20 where the malts and the flavors really talk? Or do we want to go up to about 45 or maybe 50 and get a little bit of bitterness, but and a little bit more hoppy aroma?
Yeah, exactly. Like because we want to sell the summer theme.
Right.
Exactly. So it might be that is, and then even if the IBUs exist in one of the lower tiers,
we can always throw hops on top.
Dry hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that as a beer, it still sits low, but it smells like the summer beers.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Oh, Demetrius, that's kind of an interesting take on it. Bitter as a reminder of winter.
Yeah. So it could be bitter cold.
Yeah, that's a really neat take on it. It's summer, but it still has the reminder. I like
exactly.
That.
And then, like I say, like an IPA or a beer designed to travel, that's going to be where you find your IBUs.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Right? Yeah.
Just enough this.
That can totally work. Yeah, that's a winner for sure.
What we got? 35? Yeah.
Yep. I'll let that shake out a little bit. It looks like there's a little bit of pig wrestling going on there at the mid tier.
Well, it is interesting, right? Because we can always throw hops on the back end of this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that'd be really, really interesting. Like a mosaic. If we were going to do flavor and aroma hops, just throw some mosaic on there. That just rings summertime to me.
Oh yeah, it's just. I mean, essentially, it's hop flavor, right? Classic hop flavor.
Yep. Or again, did we use? Hold on, I'm trying to think. With Walk It Off, did we use Belma? Yes, we did.
I think so.
Belma.
Yeah. So IBU is going to sit at 35. So we have got a great set of guardrails here.
Okay.
To cook up something cool. And then I'll just minimize that. So if anytime you need one of those stats, I'm ready to bust it.
Perfect. So again, let's talk about our base malts.
Yeah.
The two we're going to go with, one is going to be Maris Otter. The other is going to be just a regular 2-row.
Yeah.
Golden Promise. Golden Promise.
Yeah. So Maris Otter, that's your biscuit.
Yep. It's more biscuity. It's more traditional. It goes in British beers. God damn it. Remember the Grain. I love that song. Remember the name. Save Files. Amazing.
Yeah, that works for me.
So
yeah. So Maris Otter is one, and then the other one we were thinking about is the Copeland 2-row.
No, Copeland 2-row, make it very sweet. Or actually, no, excuse me, not Copeland 2-row, just regular base 2-row, because we'll use Golden Promise.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's going to give us a sweet, robust, malty flavor or balanced flavor. Oh my God, Wort Minor, amazing.
Okay. So what are we looking at here? Oh yeah, they want a little bit more of the biscuit, a little more. They want a little bit more present body, I think.
Yeah,
but you know what? The Golden Promise is running up. I mean, the truth is, either one of these works correct. We'll sell it on the back end for sure. Because the truth is that, I mean, we'll be able to come up with the right story in either case. But the fun thing, man, especially if we were doing that book, is that a few of these beers are Red Larch oriented.
Yeah.
And so because that's true, it would be really nice to just have a Red Larch breakout section.
Oh, that'd be neat. Yeah. Well, and we've got a couple Doomgate ales as well.
Exactly. Yeah. There's at least 3, I think, over the period of the show. All right. I'm going to give that a couple more seconds and then we'll see.
Man, look at the color on top of that grain bed right now.
I know. What's going on, Samad? We are making a beer designed.
Classic, yeah.
Well, yeah, designed to emphasize a cultural practice in a town called Red Larch, which is where the C Team has an exclusive license to operate. And the idea is that in the dead of winter, it's sort of like a Christmas in July thing, but in reverse. In the dead of winter, they pretend that it's summer, and so we're creating sort of a British summer ale.
Yeah.
To be a part of this process, but you wear all the wrong clothes, and it's the sort of thing that they would have gotten up to, basically. So Maris Otter at the jump.
Great. So what other flavors do we want to emphasize with this beer? Do we want it to be caramel? Do we want it to have chocolate? Do we want roasty flavors, biscuity flavors, toffee flavors? Where do we want to go with this? I think is the next real question.
Yeah. So give me a couple options in those veins.
So if we want to keep this very simple,
yeah,
and just add some caramel, we're going to go with some Crystal 60.
Well, on the lighter side. So pop some like a sticky sweet into that biscuit base.
Yep. If we want to go more toasted with a flavor, we're going to put in some special roast. Yeah. Mead, that's exactly where special roast would come in. We could also
toffee. Could be interesting.
Carawalt. This is a British malt. It gives a chewy sweet taste. And a little bit of toffee.
Interesting. And remember, I mean, obviously that flavor is going to be present. It's going to be in the build. But as the secondary grain, it's not going to make up the bulk of it.
No,
by any means. It's part of a whole.
Yeah. So this is really where we can start building up some flavor profiles, and we could also, depending on what we choose here, that could be it. We could just do 2 grains and call it a day, or we could put a couple more in.
Yeah, lots of ales that you would put away in the summer are not.
No, they're very
super sophisticated in their construction, and there's a case to be made that these supplies certainly by this time of year.
Oh God, that's cool. I know where you're going.
Right. It might be that they're sort of in rare supply.
Yeah.
Right. And a grain, I mean, like a coffee bean, like any of these other sorts of things, if they're kept appropriately, they can actually last quite a while. And so it'd be fine to have this saved up from the summer.
Yeah.
For this specific party.
I think that's that's a really fun concept. Whoa, look at that. Look at the special roast caramel battle.
Yeah. Well, it looks like caramel might be running away with it here. Let's see. Yeah, they want comfort. They want comfort in real life that we're providing in a rhetorical context.
So that's our. So are we going to call it with Carawalt?
But yeah, Carawalt is a winner here. I think it came away. Carawalt for the 10. Okay, and again, also a classic British product.
Okay, so we can say nothing else. Our next vote would be no more. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say putting in some biscuit malt might be an option.
Oh, as our finale here. So we'll say we're good, or some biscuit malt for a little more texture.
A little more, yeah, biscuity taste. Or we could go with Victory malt, which is going to give us a more toasted taste.
Okay, let's take this.
So
the hoop,
because remember, this is already a great beer, without adding anything else.
No, it's a winner. The base malt that we have is which? Here we should turn off the SRM.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the base is Maris. Right.
Oh yeah, Monkey Lord. That's kind of an interesting take on it too. Just throw everything that's left in the silo. Just throw it all into it.
And so in that case, I think a couple grains might be good. It's like there might just be some things that end up in there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was just hey, we got an extra bag of that.
Yeah, right? We saved some stuff, and then it's like, let's just get the rest of this again. It's like that's about to turn. Let's.
But I think this is a really good battle between Victory and We're Good, because that kind of tells that story. One is, if we put Victory in, it's well, we got some extra stuff hanging around. Two, if it's We're Good, it is very much a premeditated beer. Like this is for,
but Sunblighter dropped some wisdom in here, which is basically that it would taste a little bit different every year. There's going to be some bases, but there's also going to be a couple of things that get thrown in.
Yeah.
And this year, the thing that gets thrown in, the extra thing, is some Victory malt.
Yeah. It's kind of whatever came into town, right?
Yeah. You're always saving a little bit extra. And yes, British summer, I'm familiar with it. But I mean, I understand it too. There's a similar process in Seattle, I think, for much of summer, which is sort of why I like it. And I was also in Scotland in summer, and it was even less summery than it is here. Yeah, some spelt. Okay. All right. So the Victory. Now we've got a solid base, getting up to that color we like. Right.
What color were we going for? 6?
We're looking for 6.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go.
Dialed in. Really nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. Now we got to figure out our hop scenario.
Yep. So, traditionally you want like a Fuggles and something like this.
For British ales, yeah.
But that could be just our bittering. Actually, East Kent.
East Kent Goldings.
Yes. This is, classic. Aroma, earthy, sweet, spicy. But then what's interesting is that could be our base, and then we could also put like flowerful hops over the top of it, right?
So East Kent Golding is just there to add our IBUs, basically.
Yep. So what other kind of bittering would we want to consider? So there's East Kent. We could put in some Saz, maybe.
Yeah. How would you distinguish Saz from East Kent?
It's a noble hop. It's a little more. I'd say it gives you a little bit more fruity flavors than earthy and spicy.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so we'll choose one of these two for our base bittering, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we can throw something else on top of it. And I can see a dry hop addition just to make it just to add that summer touch, like an artful touch. But it's not really about the flavor profile. It's more about the experience.
Yep. Okay, what are we thinking about for some flavor?
Yeah, wow, they're kind of wrestling in there. Let's see. I thought Saz had pulled away. No. It ran. Oh no, gosh, it's still going crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like
I blame this all on Josh. He's manipulating it.
Josh is known to foment chaos.
Yep.
Now they're tied. If they're tied too much longer, it's like, do we just put both in?
Do we just go? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give it a few seconds, and then I'm gonna finish it. Saz by a nose.
Really interesting.
Saz by a nose.
All right, so.
Yeah, no, that isn't to say that we can't get the classic, like the leftover East Kent Goldings as a flavor addition or something like that.
What was our IBU we were going for?
35. So there's some room to play.
Okay. So a couple flavoring hops that we should talk about. One I think would be really neat would be El Dorado.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Very summery.
This is tropical fruits with pear, watermelon, and stone fruit. Yep. But it's really bright tropical fruit.
Yeah, we were obsessed. Like Belma, we used to be obsessed with El Dorado. And so El Dorado, but it would give the flavor and appearance of another time.
Yes, exactly. Year. Same kind of thing with mosaic hops. When you think of mosaic, though, it's mostly described as a blueberry in taste, but you can also get mango, stone fruit, any citrusy flavors from it as well.
Wow. Yeah. So as the flavor addition, those are both really cool.
I think one more.
Oh no.
Oh, did you already start it?
Yes. Okay. In your mind, just hold it for a dry addition, maybe, or.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to go with Hallertau Blanc, which
we love that.
Pineapple, grape, lemongrass.
Some sharper fruits.
We could do both. We could have two.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't lose out on either of these hops. They're both fantastic, great summertime hops. And remember, we can add them at flame out or just 5 minutes before both. We could do both, then do a dry addition as well to really give us the aroma and flavor of them. So when you're coming into that long haul, that's the smell that greets you. which would be pretty, I think, pretty fun. Yeah, the beast hungers. It is a vicious beast of 1.5 feet long. His beak.
Think about Pico and Mike.
Abel, what's going on? Yeah. I mean, so Mosaic is actually winning out on this, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised,
Yeah.
but it's great. Yeah, so let's take that Mosaic, but that doesn't mean, well, we can also add more Mosaic as the dry, right?
Okay, well, we could do there's a lot of things we could do right now.
True. So Mosaic for the flavor.
Let me add Mosaic right now.
Yeah.
Now, that can do for our aroma. We can either add one more hop right during our boil.
Yeah.
We can say no more hops in the boil. We can add El Dorado as well as Mosaic. We can do a 2-hop.
Yeah.
Or we could put the Hallertau Hallertau Blanc in as well.
Yeah, for the pineapple lemongrass.
Yep.
For a delicious aroma hop. Yeah. All winners.
Yeah.
And basically those are the hops that come in right at the end, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, along with the Mosaic that we had.
Yeah. Wow. God, they're back in your play here, man.
And then we can choose either to keep it as is and just really have this kind of as a savory beer and have the hops greet you, or we can add more in secondary fermentation and have the hops explode in your face. You know, I mean, like really give you the floral scent.
Exactly, without the boil, right?
Yeah. Yep. We can dry hop this as well.
They're looking for the Blanc.
Cool.
Yay. Getting wild on the hops this time.
What was our IBU again?
35.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, big saws is coming in there.
Yeah, that's going to be our 60-minute boil, and we're at 35.
Yeah, it's delivering results.
So the question is, do we want to do dry hopping or not?
Yep. So these are hops that are added after the boil to the fermenter.
We would put more Hallertau and Mosaic in after when it's in secondary fermentation.
Exactly. Basically double up our aroma hops.
Mm-hmm. And make that flavor and aroma just more pronounced. No, Orion, it typically doesn't have a dry hop. But when have we ever done anything?
Well, but for this, part of the theme for this particular beer is that it's odds and ends.
Yeah, save files. That's the vote. It's going to be either dry hop or not dry hop, or to dry hop or to not dry hop. That is the question, right?
Yeah, it just has to do with the nose.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the art imitates life in this particular case, because if you're using a quarter of an ounce, there's going to be a lot of hops left.
Right.
Yeah, Mechanthrope, I think it's very much the hook is that it's very much a desire for another time of year.
Right.
And it's manifesting in here, right?
Yeah, we're using the base British, and then really just taking it into a different direction because of that.
Mm-hmm. What a winner. Yeah, there's no moist hop in here. Although the truth stinks is that as soon as you throw those hops in, it gets pretty moist. They essentially explode in the beer.
Or in your mouth if you decide to chew on one.
Okay.
Wow, I think.
Well, generally speaking, I think they want to. The vote that they're putting in is really about scarcity.
Yeah.
Right. There isn't anything left.
Right.
At the end of the year.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
9-inch ales, amazing chainsaw.
That's great. Oh, it's back. I'm so glad. It rolled through. Happy to deliver the purple, even if we can't do it in real life. So now we need a yeast.
Yeasty. Gee, easy.
And then keep, obviously the name is coming up. So in your mind, begin processing.
So the first one that we're going to do is a British ale yeast.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit, tart, and it's dry and clean and crisp.
Yep, and I know. I mean, you know exactly what that is.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. You can feel it.
Actually, I kind of like this thought too. A European ale yeast. This is going to be more malty in flavor.
Yeah, so which might be nice to emphasize the bottom because there's plenty in there.
Yep. And we could do a London ale as well, which is dry but bold and rich in flavor.
There we go. Oh, Orion Rogue is saying, what? Hit it with the Kvik.
Yeah, that Norwegian.
Go nuts on it.
Yeah.
Get bold. Yeah, so the other beers didn't end up foaming as much. So you're in real danger for the rest of these.
Well, when we can get to a state of socially distanced wargaming again.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the proper use of those.
Yeah.
Josh also sent over 12 growlers. So I think we're
good.
For
just as supplies to deliver?
Yes, I can deliver it over.
Yeah, and store.
Yeah.
You got the gift option.
Yeah.
They want the British ale, and I think
it's neat. Yeah,
I dig it. Especially when you're talking about dry and crisp, that's the summer note, right? That's the summer tone for beers, and so this is going to sell that big time. Now, Chad. So remember, let's go through the theory. This is a holiday. It happens in the dead of winter. It's sort of a solstice thing. Mm-hmm. It's a unique beer. It's designed to evoke summer. Everybody is coming in the dead of winter in their summer garb. And before I was talking about like the cloak, but I think you actually have to run all the way there. I think it's that cold.
Yeah.
I think that you run.
Yeah. Enough heat for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Until morning. Oh, wishful drinking.
Winter luau. Alliday. Oh, Old Lang Syne.
Wow, that's a great.
That's one. Really great, Top. A Midwinter Night's Folly. 3 hops in a trench coat. Summer grain, yeah.
We're obviously suckers for a grain pun.
Winter's Respite, that's cool. Brew balls. Delightful.
Yes, exactly, Crimson. You get in there, it's cold, and you've been running, and then you get there and you are tired. Yes, that's how the party starts, and then somebody just hands you one of these.
Yeah. Yule's Yearning, that's fun. Granular Sands. Hops on the Beach, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Embolic Inebriator.
Let's see. Oh, yep, this GM is dishing it up. Thank you so much. Let's try one more here.
Polar beer.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I'm going to put that up. I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. Frothy the Snowman. Ah, nice. Love it. I don't think we lose with any of these names. Yule in the Pool. Oh, a Brewdon. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we lose with any of these names. Top, I really do love Old Lang Syne. That's absolutely fantastic. Wishful drinking, perfect. Thank you for communicating that, Rob. Yeah, Tobias. I mean, it's fighting between 2 and 3, so we'll see what happens. They're both really, really great names. And if Old Lang Syne doesn't make it, we're saving that for another time. We can do that. We can use that one next week because it's closer to New Year's, right? Save files, bringing it in. You know, Chainsaw, I'm kind of surprised somebody hasn't done that yet. I feel like that should have been done maybe 50 years ago. Yeah, so if we'll see how the vote plays out, but that could be what we're doing next week easily for next week.
What do you got? What's the hook?
If Old Lang Syne doesn't win, that could be next week's.
But that'll be our New Year's.
It's New Year's, right?
Yeah. And we'll cook up a good hook. But I think we got a great hook out of this one.
Yeah, I love it.
I'll wait a couple more seconds here, and then Auld Lang Syne would be perfect for New Year's. Nope, wishful drinking.
Okay.
Much love to Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. Right.
So, Precious Chat, which is occasionally known as the Amber Council. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us here so very near to the end of the year. It looks like the new version of the show has already had a success with the Red Rock Blaster.
Oh God!
We look forward to moving from strength to strength here at the end of this year and on into the new one. Thanks so much for hanging out with us these many years. And until next time, we'll see you.